let's jam. Let's hit the streets. We gonna party till we can't eat. We will do the things that we didn't want to, 'cause we thought we were too old. Politics is really aggravating people. It's really getting on people's nerves, but it is a must because we're about to have a very new thing happen. Is that and that we're getting ready to have another president because, as we all know, Joe Biden cannot hack it, and he just quit on us. I'm glad he quit because now that I have become, for the past, I want to say 4 years, I have been a Republican, registered Republican for maybe around 3 years and probably about 6 months. Yes, I'm new to it, but guess what? I often look back at my grandmother and my grandfather as I grew up, and I remember they were Republican. I remember when they switched too. I remember when they switched to Democrat, being fooled by those who call themselves um, progressive, and they wanted to make things progress. And see, there's a play on words here, I really think. And that's what the Democratic Party has been doing, playing on words, because those of who those of us who are in the know, we know that the Democratic Party was started by the Triple Ks on this channel. I am Mind, Body, and Soul Passion. My original page has been about pretty much my family, but because I have been seeing so many new things coming about the presidency, I decided I had to put my little hat in the game. Um, Talked to a few YouTubers, one of them in particular that actually communicate with me. His name is Van Hall. Shout out to Van Hall. I appreciate him and communicate with him on a one-on-one basis. And so I decided, and I told him, I think I want to try my YouTube hat with my MAGA hat. And that's what I'm doing today. Today is my first video that I have posted in a long time. I try to do, like I said, I'm not new to this, but I am new to this. I attempted to do a couple of videos before, and they didn't move the needle at all. And whenever you decide you want to try something new, usually it's a hard road. I got family and children. What I'm saying, so I ain't gonna hold y'all long on this YouTube because it's
They're so late.
Mr. President, what do you want your legacy for Gen Z to be?
Yeah, secure the economy
What are you going to
and the
do?
environment.
okay. He said he's gonna cure the economy and the environment and a few other. He didn't get this out yet, y'all. He didn't get this out yet, but he said he was gonna cure the economy and the environment. Now, to livestock, they cure it in order to keep it in the same state that it was from the beginning of when you killed it. Okay, curing it. Meaning they add pickle, they add a lot of sodium, they add a whole bunch of stuff in there just to keep it at the same state that it's in. Okay, so we might need to think about what he just said. Okay, we're gonna let this roll again. Let's go.
That's the other small thing.
When are you going to go on and campaign for the vice president?
Oh, I did today.
He said he did today now. They asked him, When is he going to go out and campaign for the vice president? He said he did today. Now, I watched the video. If he saying that he's getting ready to start campaigning for her, he just left. And I'm going to let you hear some of this article so you'll know what's going on with the article. But he want us to think that he campaigned today. Okay, let's go.
President, how about your legacy for LGBTQ Americans? How about your legacy for LGBTQ?
Vice President.
Well, I did today. Mr. President, how about your legacy for LGBTQ Americans? Well, I
Right here, we're gonna put it right there. It says, Mr. President, how about your legacy for I can't even say it. My mouth won't even form to say the letters. LGBTQ Americans. Okay, so they want to know what his legacy is for LGBTQ. Now he getting ready to go off into this tangent about when he was riding with his daddy. But I want to let y'all hear this. If you can hear it, because you might not be even understand what he's saying, but the closed caption can't even keep up with what he's saying. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
legacy for LGBTQ Americans. Well, I'm very proud of my position. I was the first guy to come out and get married. Remember that little problem?
Okay, we're going to stop it right there. He said he was the first guy to come out to affirm the LGBTQ. Okay, now I'm not pulling up different screens because I'm not very savvy in this, so I'm not gonna keep pulling up a bunch of different screens but I know for a fact because I watched the video of Joe Biden talking about how marriage was between a man and a woman, and there was no reason to have the LGBTQ have marriage rights and all these other things. There was no need for that. And then once somebody got in their ear, I don't know who they got in their ear, both Biden and it was probably Big Mike got in the ear because both of them decided, hey, what the kids say, love, let everybody love who they want to love, which I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with that. But I want him to stop lying to the American people. And I want them to stop pandering to the American people. Because you don't really have a good legacy when it comes down to LGBTQ legacy. You don't have a good legacy, man. Your legacy was against them. Now all of a sudden, because you want their vote and you see a way that you can get their vote, you decide you want to jump your head in the race with them. But hey, teach his own. If y'all like it, I love it. Let's go.
Remember that little problem with Obama administration?
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got to rewind this. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. And then what that guy say on that meme? Says on that meme, it says, let's go back just a little bit because he said, remember that little problem with Obama? What's the little problem with Obama? Because I just got seeing something about Big Mike. What's the little problem with Obama? What was the problem with Obama? He did not specify. He did not clarify. He did not do any of that. So I really want to know what he meant by this. I want to know. Probably won't find out in this right here. And nobody probably even picked up on this because ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Nobody's gonna say anything because most people are scared. Listen, I'm not scared to say. I've seen so many times where it is very clear why he stated there's a little problem with Obama. Everybody might not know what that means, but maybe one day we can talk about it. Maybe one day.
Obama administration.
He said Obama in this business. And it looked memory lane with Joe Corn Pop Biden.
Look, my dad had a simple proposition. God's truth.
Lots of
My dad was dropping me off to get a license to be a lifeguard in the city of Wilmington, the project. As I got out of the car and hit Rodney Square, it's called the center of the city, someone from the DuPont company and Hercules company, two large companies, and they're building adjacent to one another. And I'm getting out of the car and these two guys lead up and kiss one another. I've never seen that before.
okay. Now how old is Joe Biden? He's like in his 80s. 82? Is he 82? Okay. So we need to think back when Joe Biden, that was like in the 20s, 30s maybe. When he was growing up, 40s. Now, I'm thinking, were people open like that during those times? Were they open and letting everybody know? Because all the movies and stuff that you see on TV, I love movies from the 1950s. I really do. I love the movies from like I even like the, the videos that don't have the pictures and just no sound. I like that. I even like those. I used to when I was a kid. I used to watch them. I never seen same sex stuff on any of those videos. Matter of fact, when I was a little girl, my granddaddy used to have dirty magazines. Dirty magazines now. You know the magazines with the pin up people and stuff like that. And we used to find them somehow because we was being nosy. And we never seen none of that same sex stuff in those magazines. And that was when, those kind of like old magazines. They were old. It was like in the 70s and things of that nature. So, it was free love back then. So you probably, I think that's when they started like spreading out their gay wings back then. You know what I'm saying? But you still, even in those magazines, and then you can say particularly that maybe that's not what my granddad was looking at. He was looking at the girls in the magazine. You know what I'm saying? But you even didn't even see women. It was like naked women. You know, the perversion had not reached an all time high. And a lot of times when they would show voyeur type things, it would be just a women's top and they had a little flirty thing, or they would show a woman, it wouldn't be a whole lot of revealing stuff. It'd be mostly women. You didn't see many men in these magazines and things of like that nature. So I'm trying to figure out, when did they start being on the street kissing people? Kissing I'm just wondering. Not nothing really that, you know what I'm saying? It's important. I'm just wondering.
I looked at my dad and he said, Joey, it's simple. They love each other. Simple. That's not the reason.
What do you think of the VP choices? Who do you think you should pick as VP?
Now, I don't know if y'all heard what she said, but she asking him who should she pick as her VP. Now, not y'all know they kicked him out, right? I think this is kind of like insulting him. I know this is insulting him. They kicked him out. He's still the president. They told him you cannot win. After they pushed this man all the way up to the presidency somehow, he got all these votes. Now they pushed him out the way. Said, no, 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 you can't win, buddy. We need you out of here and let somebody else do it. And you told them that you want to come. And they asking you in this interview here, when are you going to go campaign for Kamala? And now they ask you, who should you pick? Who should she pick as her VP? Okay, let's see what he said.
No problem. Thank you.
What he say? I'm gonna rewind that. What he say? What he say? What he say? Let's see what he said. We're gonna let the whole thing play out, see if we can understand what he said. Let's go.
They love each other. That's not the reason.
What do you think of her VP choices? Who do you think she should pick as VP?
We're talking.
Oh, he said we'll talk. He said we'll talk. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. We'll talk. So this is what we got in this video from him. That in order for him to let you know about who he who his pick is, he said that we're gonna talk about it. Now, I don't know what the heck we're gonna say when we talk, but that's what he said. That's what Joe Biden said. Joe Biden said that we're gonna talk. So we wonder what they gonna say when they talk. I wonder what they're gonna say. You know, because I want to know what they're gonna talk about. I want to know about this, not all the other stuff y'all don't know. That ain't important to us. It is okay. Share screen. Let's see if that's gonna be it. A lot of people they shy away from Fox News because they feel like this is some right wing. I rather be on the right wing than be on the left wing because my Bible tells me that I need to sit on the right hand of the Father. Okay, here we go.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says he has never seen Russian and Chinese jets fly together like they did off the coast of Alaska Wednesday. Retired four-star General Jack.
He said never. Like, not I remember when. He said never. Okay, let's go.
Keane joins me now. General, are we being challenged everywhere, and can the U.S. military cope?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, Stuart. I mean, the reality is China and Russia have established a strategic partnership enabled by North Korea and Iran. And this axis that has come together in an alliance, and let's call it for what it really is, collaboration and cooperation is real. Give you an example. China has literally revitalized Russia's defense industrial base. They are cranking out now hundreds of tanks and fighting vehicles and artillery pieces where they were taking old tanks out of the boneyard just a few months ago. Iran has a manufacturing.
You hear that? They were taking, listen, they didn't even have the capability. Now all of a sudden they got it. Where did they get it from? Where did it come from?
Factory in Russia producing drones. China is financing Iran's war in the Middle East. Why? Because they're.
China is financing whose war? Let's let that sink in. Here we go.
China is financing Iran's war in the Middle East. Why? Because they're buying all of Iran's oil.
They buying. Listen, okay. When President Trump was in office, he did not allow anybody to be able to do that. You want to know why? Because he told him if you do it, you won't be protected. Okay, let's go.
By and large, the sanctions, we're not doing anything about it. And Iran is flush with money, and that's how they've got all these missiles, 130 to 150,000 in the hands of the Hezbollah, tens of thousands in the hands of the Houthis, who've managed to shut down the Suez Canal, for weeks. And the mission has failed in terms of preventing that from happening in the mind of the commander of U.S. forces in the region, who's appealing for assistance on this from the Secretary of Defense. So this is the threat that we're facing, Stuart. I'm on a congressional commission, been on it for 18 months, bipartisan, and we conclude the threats from these nations are serious and dangerous, and
they're serious and dangerous, man. Listen, these threats are serious and dangerous. Now, whenever people start talking about stuff that's serious and dangerous, it's like we don't actually get the seriousness. We go around here, marriage and giving in marriage during a time whenever we have wars and rumors of wars. Now, all this stuff that they're saying need to start trickling down to people who actually have been going to church most of their lives and are going to church right now. If the preacher is not preaching some of this stuff and you still talking about, oh, we need to get behind Kamala Harris, and you see the debauchery in which this woman is bringing forth, y'all are looking at TV and you seeing this woman's ads, and the first thing you see is people with Ukraine and pride flags on her. Man, come on, somebody got to think. Y'all church folks talking about you want to get behind Kamala, you want to get behind her and all this stuff. Look at what she's behind. Look at what she's in front of. Look what's behind her. She's a married woman, married to a white man with white children, black folks. Y'all call yourself black. Well, I don't call myself black. I don't call myself black. I am not a black person. I am a person who is of brown color, and I am an American. I am native to America. I've never been anywhere else but America. I am married to an African American because he is from Africa, Nigeria, by way of Africa. Okay? He's an African American. Elon Musk is an African American. But me, myself, I'm a native of America. My ancestors were natives to America. I don't have in my history books or going back, and my mom going back in our history, have I seen an African in our history. We have Jamaicans, we have Bohemians, and we have Native Americans. I haven't seen any Africans in our tree. Sorry. So I don't call myself an African. Back to the video. Back to the video.
Something we have not seen since World War II.
Wow.
And the likelihood is real that the United States could be involved in multiple theaters of war at this.
Multiple theaters meaning shows, acts, presentations. Okay.
Same time as we were in World War II, because look at what's already happening. War in Europe, war in the Middle East, China threatening war in the Indo-Pacific region. So these airplanes are just a symbol of something that's much larger that's threatening the United States. And Stuart, they're aggressive and they're confident because they.
I was told a couple of years ago to look for the symbolism. And so a lot of these things that I'm looking at and seeing, a young lady by the name of, what they call her, Earth. I love her. She's such a good commentator. And the only person who can do what she does is her, because she's so good at it. She's so good at decoding and whatnot. But her videos and her commentaries help me out so much for as of now. Besides my mother telling me, before she passed away, what you see is not what you see. It's all a facade to distract you from what's really going on. And there's so many distracting things that's going on. And I would put your distractions and they want to distract, especially the people, the American uh, brown skinned people who love hip hop music. They want to put us in a position that's the only thing we like. And I seen a video today. I know I'm rambling because this is my first video, and I'm probably gonna go over my time. But my first in this first video, I want to say, you know, this Kamala, whatever her name is, pronunciation. I apologize for making anything any disrespectful because I don't want anybody feeling like I disrespect anybody, any woman, because I'm not disrespecting any woman. I'm a woman myself, and but it was like a lot of older women, and I'm watching them looking at this person they probably don't even freaking know, and making the stallion, which is a male horse. Yeah, stallion the male horse. Okay, it's just cringy. Why is it that they would have this woman that was in the audience, and all of a sudden, you know, the people were just standing there looking at her like, "Who the heck are you?" Like, all of this, it's just too much. It's just, to me, it's just too much. Here we go.
Something that's much larger that's threatening the United States. And Stuart, they're aggressive and they're confident because they believe the United States leadership is weak and they have an opportunity here to exploit our vulnerabilities.
Indeed. I changed the subject briefly. Earlier this week, Ukraine's top diplomat met.
Before he changes the subject, he is so right. These other countries, they are not thinking about us at this point in time. They know that we are not an existential threat to them. They know that the only existential threat to them is DT. They know that. And they are ready to do whatever they can to us before these 100 and so days are here to revolt. And they're hoping and they're praying on who's going to be the next president. And nobody's really saying anything from them. They're not saying anything. They're doing stuff. They're putting forth actions. They're not saying a word. If we don't just doing all the watching and seeing, they're not saying we're going to put you. They're not saying it. They're not saying a word. They're just watching us give money to another country and taking away our own military resources. Okay, let's go.
With China's foreign minister about the war with Russia. General, why is Ukraine going to China for help in ending the war?
Well, I think the principal reason is twofold. China has offered in the past a peace proposal last year that fell on death.
Because he knows that if he throws some money at President Zelensky, he knows that if he throws some money at him, he's going to take it. He knows that if he throws some money at him, and he's keeping the confrontation going on between him and Russia, eventually Zelensky's going to fold anyway because really he's not a real president. He's not a real president because a real president won't keep begging another country for money and just taking the money and killing his citizens because that's what he's doing. Then we have enough people over there to fight this crazy behind a war that he's fighting. And eventually, if we keep doing away with him more money, and we are going to be poop out of luck. She's not only going to go send him money, she's going to send him the troops. She's going to send y'all sons and daughters, not mine. My son is too young. He ain't ready for that. He just 13. And my daughter, she ain't going because she's going to be too old to go. Even though she wanted to go before, but that's another story. Yeah, it's been too many things going on in the military. They can't even keep their soldiers with the right frame of mind to even go forth and fight in a war. They're not even equipped for that. They're not even equipped for that. They don't have the mindset for it. So yeah, versus these other people have been bred for war.
Fears an overture in this area. Second, the most significant reason is that their influence with Russia. And so I think Ukraine is willing to work with China to influence Russia to see if they can make some kind of accommodations leading to the end of this war.
You see what I'm saying? See, they're not even looking to our president. Usually, we're the ones that they look toward to define peace and tranquility between the two nations that's fighting. Right? Why is China the one doing it now? Why is it that China's doing it now? Because China is on top. That's why. And we scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to figure out what we're going to get, whether we're going to get another president or not, because the people are so backwards. The people in America are so backwards. And the only thing they're concerning themselves with is genitalia. Who want to sleep with who? And who rights are being violated between those people. It's weird. This is one of the things that they are trying to say about the Republican Party, but both of them are really weird, because why are we even thinking about anything like that? Why is that even a thing? Why is it even a thing? I'm with Candace. This is demonic. I know. Let's find another way.
War. And where Ukraine doesn't want to give up territory, Russia isn't about to give up any of the occupied territory that they have from Ukraine now. So clearly, there needs to be something negotiated out here. I don't think we're anywhere close to negotiations and a deal right now, but I think what Ukraine is trying to do is set the stage for it, the framework for it.
Okay.
And let me tell you something else. I think they probably have some concerns to it. If there is a transition in government from the Biden administration to the Trump administration, I think it's not clear to the Ukrainians, where the Trump administration would be on funding the effort to continue providing weapons and ammunition to.
Well, we already know that he's gonna listen to the people, and if the people don't want him to go give our money to Ukraine, it ain't going. Okay, and there's no way in the world that he'd be able to justify that crap if he did. So we're gonna hope that he won't do something like that, because we don't want our money to go to Ukraine anymore. He didn't want he put tariffs on everybody else because they wouldn't do their fair share. Who's helping us to get America back on? Nobody. We have an influx of migrants that's come here to America, invading the country of America. Okay? The United States of America has been invaded by multiple nations, men that are soldier age men, military aged men, fighting age men, fleeing their own country for what? Where they fleeing from? Because I want to see some video footage of what's going on in their country. If they have to run away from their country to come here to do what? What jobs? There's no jobs here. They're here for the American people. There's no jobs here for them. What are they doing?
To them.
I can see
so that may be another issue in the background for them as well.
General, would you just stay there for a second? Hang with me for a while. I just want to give a report on what's going on in France at the moment. France has been hit by coordinated attacks, and this is hours before the opening of the Olympic Games. Tell me more, please, Ashley.
Yeah, it's an absolute mess. France's high-speed rail network being hit by coordinated arson attacks that has led to major disruptions to the country's busiest rail lines. Eurostar trains from London to Paris have been affected with cancellations and delays. And as you say, it comes as the Olympic Games are getting underway. And French holidaymakers, by the way, are preparing to leave on vacation this weekend, the busiest weekend of all. Authorities say the coordinated attacks have left thousands of passengers, as many as 1 million, stranded.
I used to think that